All right, I got another one for you guys. Going to go through the Steam sale for this weekend, and this is for the weekend of March 22nd, Friday, going through the weekend through Sunday. Just kind of went through the list here, and it's surprising how much is on sale today because we just got done with the spring sale, but here you have a whole bunch of discounted titles, quite a lot as per usual. Figured it would be a smaller list than this, but not half bad. And a lot of this is probably leftovers from the spring sale. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff that I kind of ran across. So I'll put a link to this page in the description, and you can check it out for yourself. But I'm just going to go through the ones that I found, and we'll start right off with some old standards. So right off the bat, Star Wars Jedi bundle. I've talked about this before, and it's been on sale before, but you can get Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Star Wars Jedi Survivor for a significant discount. 71% off the pair, $32. And Fallen Order is 90% off for $3.99, and Jedi Survivor is a little over half off for $31.49. So definitely worth checking out. Fairly well received, or at least the first one was. Not so sure about the second one, but seemed to be pretty popular for a while there. So if you haven't played them and you wanted to play a Star Wars game that isn't like all about the new Disneyfied version, this seems more in line with the old school, at least in spirit. So it's good to see, and if you want to get it for a substantial discount, 71% off, now is the time. So the next old standard is the Command & Conquer bundle. This is the Ultimate Collection for $10. You can basically get all of the Command & Conquer games. Now, this is single player only. There is no real appreciable multiplayer. It does seem like there is some of these games you can do multiplayer with, but I haven't actually tried it out properly yet. So, but I did note that Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge, multiplayer is basically dead on those. Generals and General Zero Hour, I think there might be a way to land those, or at least direct connect with somebody. But it's a lot of hoops to jump through, and a lot of people aren't going to be interested in that. It's not like modern multiplayer where it's centralized, where you can go through like Steam or go through the game's central servers and get a match. There's no matchmaking or anything like that. This is old school multiplayer, and that's basically how they left it, if it even still worked at all. So that's why they denote it is single player only. But yeah, it's a heck of a bundle for $10. And like I said, there's a lot of options here, even without the multiplayer. The single-player campaigns, the single-player skirmishes are tons of fun. I spent hours and hours on those back in the day, and that's kind of what I've been getting back into, and especially with Red Alert 2, just kind of playing some of those old skirmish battles and reliving the old days. So if that's your jam, $10 can't get you wrong. So that's Red Alert, or Command & Conquer bundle, and let's move on to the next one. So next one is Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much introduction this one needs. But Mass Effect, hugely popular franchise up until Andromeda, at least. And this is basically the remaster, with everything included. So you're talking about, 40 DLC from all three, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3, as well as all the 3 base games. And, that is a ton of gameplay, a ton of content to play. If you're looking for a space RPG, if Starfield let you down, this might be something that gets you through the rest of the, at least scratches that itch, let's say. Definitely worth checking out, especially for $9. It is an older game, but they did improve it quite a bit. They made some good graphical tweaks, and yeah, worth checking out. So that is Mass Effect Ultimate Edition. And next up is going to be Chrono Trigger. Yeah. I had no idea that this was even on Steam. Like, it blew me away that Chrono Trigger came out for Steam and I didn't find out about it. But apparently it's legit. Like, it is the original game ported over to PC. I mean, they said that they made some tweaks, but I'm not seeing anything here. But like I said, I mean, it's Chrono Trigger. And if you've never played Chrono Trigger, this might be your way to get there. So definitely worth checking this out. This is an old standard. It is one of the definitive RPGs from the old days. And it is 2D. And actually, I mean, for being 2D, might not be a bad idea for if you got a Steam Deck. This would be a great game for Steam Deck, I think. I don't know how. I mean, it supports Xbox controllers. I don't know how well it supports deck, but oh yeah, playable. So there you go. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Even if you got a deck, it would work pretty good, I think. So and again for 750 for half off 750, you can't go wrong with such a classic. So next up is going to be Slime Rancher and Slime Rancher 2, both on sale, substantially discounted. Slime Rancher more than 2. But for 53% off, 23.38, you can get both. You can also get the original Slime Rancher with the 3DS DLC for just under $17, or just get Slime Rancher for $5. So this was a lot of fun back in the day, and you know, if you've never played Slime Rancher, I would say $5 is your introduction to that. If you really liked it and you wanted to get 2, I'm sure it'll be on sale again. But yeah, like I said, I mean, for $5, definitely worth getting into. It's very bright aesthetic. It's a very weird game, but definitely worth checking out. So that is Slime Rancher. So next up is going to be Dirt Rally 2.0. Now I never got into this one. I played some of the older dirt games, and they were a lot of fun. But if rally racing is your thing, you really can't go wrong for $5. You can also get the Game of the Year edition for $10. And I mean, for being coming out in 2019, I mean, 75% off is a substantial discount for a relatively recent game. But again, I mean, if you're into dirt racing or rally racing, this is definitely something to check out. So yeah, Dirt Rally 2.0. There you go. So next up is Contra Operation Galuga. So it's not substantially discounted, but for 10% off, that's not half bad. Especially considering it just came out March 12th. So this is like definitely old school Contra. This is like the way Contra was meant to be played. And I would imagine that this would work fairly well on Steam Deck. It doesn't say supported or anything. It's not like official, but yeah, I would imagine this would be great on Steam Deck. It's definitely something to check into if you're looking for a game like that on deck. So Contra Operation Galuga, it's only 10% off for $36, but if Contra was your jam back in the day, this is basically that, just modernized with better graphics and whatnot, but it's still the same spirit of the game, from what I understand. So Operation Galuga Contra. So next up is another good one for Steam Deck. This is an excellent one for Steam Deck. That is TMNT Shredder's Revenge and the DLC. You can give them both for $30. Again, not a huge discount, but it is definitely worth checking out. And if you wanna grab an old TMNT game, brought up to modern specs, this is the one. And this does work great on Steam Deck, because I've played it a lot on Steam Deck, and it's working great. So definitely something to install, and it's fairly small, considering for a modern game. I mean, it is, you know, it is top down, you know, it is 2D. Or 2.5D, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out, and easy to keep on the deck. Throw it on a memory card even, and it seems to work okay, because if I remember correctly, I put it on the memory card to play, so not half bad for SD card, playing from an SD card. So TMNT Shredder's Revenge and DLC bundle for 10% off. That's the deal of the day, I guess. Except for, I think, the next one down the road here a little bit. But yeah, so next one up is going to be Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, this is a fairly old game, but it was like one of the more interesting Need for Speeds. Definitely a lot of fun to play this game. And I mean, I can't imagine online PvP is still working. But it did have good single player, and it was fairly well received back in the day, fairly well received even now. And like I said, I mean, for the discount, you know, you can't go wrong with Need for Speed for $2. If you've never played Need for Speed and you want to get into it, this is the one to do for $2. Because I mean, you know, it's so cheap, it's ridiculous. So it's worth checking that out. So next up is gonna be for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Now this is, again, I'm not sure. I mean, it's a fairly recent game, and I don't know why it's so substantially discounted, except maybe they're trying to get you into the franchise again. So they're discounting this to get you back in. That could be, but for 50% off, $35. If you haven't gotten into the Final Fantasy VII remakes, this is probably your avenue in to start getting into FF7. I don't know. it's too modern for me, if that makes any sense. Like I'm kind of old school. I mean, obviously half of these games are basically old school games. So seeing the modern combat applied to Final Fantasy VII story doesn't really do it for me. It kind of kills the notion. So I never got into the remakes, but it is out here. And if you like the modern Final Fantasies and you wanted to see the story of Seven told through that kind of an experience, then here you go. This is the way to do it. And for half off, you can't go wrong with that. So the last one is going to be the Lightyear Frontier. So now this is an interesting one because this only came out on March 19th. I mean, a couple of days ago at worst. I remember hearing about it a while ago. I didn't realize they went into early access so soon. But yeah, this is for 20% off. Basically, just released. So you can get the game for $20. This is like a launch discount. It sounds like. You can also get like you can get it with like Planet Crafter or the soundtrack for a discount. 19% for $40 and 26% for $21. But honestly, I mean, you could just get the base game for $20. It's an interesting aesthetic. It's very bright. It's very cheery. And I guess, being in the middle of winter and still kind of getting that cold weather and dark skies, seeing a game like this is definitely worth brightening your day over. So it's definitely a bright, shiny game. It's very interesting because it's like the mechs. It's basically survival crafting in space with mechs. So not in space, but on a planet. So the mechs are all like old style cars or built around old style car aesthetics. And I don't know, it's just an interesting design. It's interesting design choices, and it seems like it's really interesting, and they've put a lot of work into the mechanics of it. It seems so, and plus it's very indie. So if you want to support your indies, and this is kind of your jam, then go check it out. It has been very well received. 85% of the 323 user reviews are positive. So it is popular. It is being well received. So definitely worth checking that out. And for 20% off, $20, you can't go wrong. So that's my list for this weekend. Hope you enjoyed that list. And like I said, there's a whole lot more on here if you want to check it out. Definitely worth going further into this. Like you got Spore out here. You got Dying Light. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Ark, Ultimate Survival, Castle Crashers. I mean, there's just a lot of games on sale right now. So if you missed out on the spring sale, I guess this is your retribution. You got some options out here. So if you wanted to get some discounts going, now is the time. And I'll put a link to this in the description so you can check those out as well. So hope you liked the vid. Let me know what you thought was interesting on this list in the comments. And if you like these kind of videos, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.